Hello, this is Leo Esquivel, and this is a video description of how the RASW process helped me identify AT lessons and how and why each section of the RASW form helped guide each future lesson as I was completing them. So let me go ahead and just begin with section one. So after completing the UKAT forms and developing identifying the demands that my student needed, um, we obviously developed a goal. And the goal for my student was to use a white cane to increase his ability to travel safely in familiar and unfamiliar environments. So the objective, the first objective in reaching this goal was going to be something very simple, and it was going to be having my cane, or I'm sorry, will my student have his cane at midline um, at 80% of the time throughout his lessons. So in the first part of the RASA, I was able to measure uh, this progress with a data collection chart. And what I was looking for is I was giving the student 5 total occurrences, and I wanted to see how many times he can actually, try to maintain the occurrence. For example, on Monday, which is the first day, June 8th, he was only keeping his cane at midline 3 out of 5 times that I was observing. The next day he did a little bit better, and then throughout the week it kind of just was fluctuating. So that led me to my next, at the end of the week, I'm sorry, it led me to the next section, which was the reflective and analysis section. I was asking questions on how we could improve his technique. Some of the questions that I had were, why isn't he maintaining his cane at midline with consistency? Is he forgetting to keep the cane at midline, or does he not understand the concept of why we keep the cane at midline? And once again, just want to remind you that the goal here is to have him travel safely, and the first thing is to get him to travel in a straight line. So after asking myself those questions, now I began to network with the professional um, committee, or the professional learning network, I should say, which is section three. I consulted with his teachers, with his occupational therapist, with the nurse, even his case manager, and just to talk about, how he's doing with the AT device, which is a cane, and how we can get him to improve. His occupational therapist and his general education teacher indicated that he is a slow learner. He has short-term memory issues, so he forgets things in sequences, right? So after they shared that with me, uh, I was able to complete section four, which is beginning to come up with strategies that I can implement in my future lessons, right? So one of the strategies was, after speaking with him, I decided to implement or have my client use his cane in controlled environments. For example, it was just, empty hallways, empty classrooms, no distractions, and I simplified the tasks by just giving him basic instructions, like having him stand still and just hold a cane at midline and just observe himself doing that, and then gradually built from there, right? So um, I think that strategy helped him, and then we were able to build off of that. So the following week, I went on to after he mastered how to keep the cane at midline, then we were practicing a a consistent apex, and then I kept track of that, using the same data collection chart. And then the following week, we went on to shorelining, and then how he was able to keep his cane with a consistent shoreline technique, and then we went to 2 point touch, and then a constant contact. So after 5 weeks, we pretty much determined that the cane is beneficial for him. And not only did we determine which type of cane, which was a 54-inch aluminum cane, collapsible by Amputech. Not only did we determine that, but we determined that constant contact was his preferred cane technique. So the RASW forms helped guide all of this by giving me feedback and allowing me to analyze the data that will guide future lessons. So um, very, very effective technique and forms. Thank you.